Hello gamers, welcome to the world of Heir of Light. This is Zennosh speaking, and today I am gonna share some tips and guides on gears. Having a hard time figuring them out? Don't know which gear to focus? Wondering what gears best fit your favorite servants? Guessing which gears to sell and which to keep? Then you have come into the right place. Before starting this video, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section below after this video. Now let's get this started.
What we do here is go back.
Let's start with the gear stats. Each gear comes with a primary stat, a secondary stat, and additional stats. Primary stat will always be present in any given gear, but secondary stats may not be present in some gears, and there is no way to add a secondary stat to a gear with no secondary stats. Any gear can have a total of 4 additional stats. Gears have a total of 5 rarities, namely normal, magic, rare, epic, and legendary. Normal rarity gears appear in grey color and have 0 additional stats, whereas magic, rare, epic, and legendary gears appear in green, blue, purple, and yellow colors respectively. Magic gears have 1 additional stat, rare gears have 2 additional stats, epic gears have 3 additional stats, and finally, legend, wait for it, dairy gears have 4 additional stats. You can receive gears of different rarities in dungeons, whereas you will mostly receive normal and magic rarity gears in region areas. You can also purchase gears from black market as well, when it has any gear that might pique your interest. And black market does offer a variety of gears with random rarity and grades. Keep checking it out. There are a total of 8 types of gears, namely weapon, gloves, shirt, helmet, pants, shoes, necklace, and ring. Weapon, shirt, and pants are those gears which always have flat primary stats, meaning their primary stats will never have any stat with a percentage based increment, like attack increased by percentage and defense increased by percentage. Whereas rest of the 5 types of gears, namely gloves, helmet, shoes, ring, and necklace, always have percentage based increment primary stats, except for speed stat, which is a flat stat. It is always preferable to get the stats with percentage based increment, as they keep on changing as you keep on upgrading your servants, whereas the flat stat gears will always provide you the same constant stat increment regardless of the upgrading of your servant. Now you really won't want that, guys. So let's talk about which percentage based increment stats to look for in gloves, helmet, shoes, ring, and necklace gears. Well, it depends upon the class of your servant. There are a total of 4 classes of servants, namely tank, support, healer, and DPS. And sometimes it can also depend upon the skill description of a particular servant. So you need to be a bit smarter in selecting proper gears for your servants. On basic level, you will be focusing mainly on gloves, helmet, and shoes, as necklace and rings are very late game gears which require your servants to reach 3rd and 5th awakening respectively. Only 4-star and 5-star origin servants can get 3rd and 5th awakening, thus they are the only ones who can equip necklace and ring. If you were able to unlock necklace and ring slots, then you need to equip necklace with speed as primary stat to all 4 classes of servants, whereas for ring, you need to get it an attack boost by percentage as primary stat for the DPS class servants. As for the remaining 3 classes, which are tank, healer, and support, you will need to equip them a ring with a HP boost by percentage as primary stat. Now let's move back to the gloves, helmet, and shoes gears, to which every servants have initial access to. For gloves, it is almost always recommended to get speed boost as the primary stat for all 4 classes of servants. Speed boost is one of the most short stat in this game. Why? Because speed stats increase the rate of filling of skill gauge of a servant. This will allow a servant to spam his skills over and over again in a very short period of time, which is very beneficial in any content of this game, especially in the PvP battles. However, you can also get HP boost by percentage stat as the primary stat for tank servants to make them more tanky depending upon your situation or need. For helmet, you need to look for HP boost by percentage stats for tanks, support and healers. While for DPS servants, you need to look for helmet with crit rate or crit damage or attack boost by percentage stats as primary stat. I prefer crit rate if additional stats of all gears combined does not have a total crit rate of around 100%. You can always check out total crit rate stats of your servants in your servants info section, because without good crit rate stats, your DPS servant won't be able to dish out critical damage at constant rate. But if additional stats of all gears do already make up a total of 100% crit rate, then you can look for crit damage boost as primary stat for helmet of your DPS servant. Crit damage is an extra additional damage to a normal damage done by a servant which appears in red colored number whenever an enemy gets hit. However, I prefer attack boost by percentage for those DPS servants like Fire Zeta and Fire Anko, whose combo skill ignores the defense of an enemy. Because combo skills that ignores the defense just cannot deal a critical damage or land a critical blow. They just deal true damage. Moving on, for shoes, I recommend you guys to look for HP boost by percentage stat again as primary stat for your tank, healer and support class servants, as it will further improve their survival rate. Whereas for DPS servants, please equip them with shoes with attack boost by percentage as the primary stats. It is natural to provide more attack boost to your DPS servants so they can finish off the enemies as fast as possible. Always remember, the best offense is the best defense. Now let's talk about the different varieties of the gears. There are a total of 12 varieties of gears, namely Beast, Iron, Life, Eruption, Blade, Havoc, Skill, Resistance, Vampire, Petrify, Chain and Wind gears. Beast gears can provide an additional 35% attack boost to a servant when a total of 4 sets of Beast gears are equipped to him. Likewise, 4 sets of Eruption gears provide a 25% speed stat boost to a servant. 4 sets of Havoc gears provide a boost of 40% critical damage to a servant. A 4 set of Vampire gears provide a boost of 35% Vampire or Life Steal rate to a servant. 4 set of Petrify gears provide a boost of 25% of Petrify rate to a servant. But with 8 sets, it can provide a boost of 40% Petrify rate. A 4 set of Wind gears provide a boost of 30% reset cooldown time to a servant. With 8 set of this gear, a servant can have a boost of 50% reset cooldown time instead. Whereas rest of the gear varieties need only 2 sets to activate set effects. 2 sets of Iron gears provide a boost of defense by 15%. 2 sets of Life gears provide a boost of HP by 15%. 2 sets of Blade gears provide a boost of crit rate by 12%. 2 sets of Skill gears provide a boost of accuracy by 20%. 2 sets of Resistance gears provide a boost of resist by 20%. Finally, 2 sets of Chain gears provide an increased chance of activating secondary mark or combo by 7%. Now, the question is, which gears are best for different classes of servants? I recommend you guys to get Life or Iron gear set for tank servants, as they really need to have a high survival rate. You can equip healer and support servants with Eruption, Life and Wind gears. Eruption gear will provide them speed boost, thus enabling them to spam their skills more frequently. Wind gears can prove to be very useful as it can reset the cooldown time of their skills by up to 50% at max. While especially for support class servants, you can also equip them with skill gears as it will help them to land debuffs like attack decrease, defense decrease and speed decrease on enemies more frequently. For DPS class servant, I recommend you guys to equip Beast and Blade gears during early and mid game. Beast gears boost attack and blade gears provide critical rate boost, which will allow your DPS servants to do high damage to enemies. During late game, I prefer you guys to equip Havoc and blade gears to your DPS servants because Havoc and blade gears can deal higher scale of damage. But for DPS servants like Fire Anko and Fire Zeta, whose combo skill ignores defense, you need to equip them with Beast plus Chain, or Eruption plus Chain, or Wind or Chain gears. Why? Let me explain. As I mentioned earlier that DPS servants with defense ignoring combo skill cannot land a critical hit. Thus, equipping them with Havoc or Blade gears is an utter waste. Beast gear can provide them higher attack boost. Eruption gear will allow them to land their amazing combo skill more faster and frequently. Chain gears will help them to chain a combo more easily, which can prove to be a game changer. This has helped me a lot in defeating many opponents in PvP battles even when I was supposed to lose that certain battle. Whereas Wind gears will allow your DPS servants to land their active and combo skills more frequently, as it decreases their reset cooldown time by up to 50%. Meaning up to 50% of the combo skill gauge will be already filled up right after you have used a skill. This type of boost is super awesome, guys. Now let's talk about enhancing gears. Even a normal rarity gear can attain a legendary rarity through enhancement. A normal rarity gear gains one step higher rarity every 3 successive enhancement levels. That is, it will gain magic, rare, epic and legendary rarity at 3rd, 6th, 9th and 12th enhancement levels, and will also gain an additional stat with each rarity increment. Sadly, secondary stats cannot be enhanced. A gear will max out at 15th enhancement level. At the 15th enhancement level, your gear will get a huge boost to its primary stat. It is also possible for you to get gears with higher rarity like epic and legendary gears instead of normal gears from various contents of this game like dungeons. These higher rarity gears will have 0 initial enhancement level but will have their corresponding number of additional stats with them. For example, a 0 enhancement level legendary gear will have 4 additional stats with it. So in this case, when you reach 3rd, 6th, 9th and 12th enhancement level, instead of gaining a new additional stat, any one of your current additional stat will be boosted at random. So it is very advantageous to acquire a gear which is already at a higher rarity with 0 enhancement level, as you will be able to get higher additional stats value. Now let's discuss about which additional stats to focus on for your various servants. For DPS servants, I recommend you guys to focus on attack percentage, crit rate percentage, crit damage percentage and speed boost. These additional stats are also known as the perfect gear stats for a DPS servant, as in general, it is a best setting for almost all DPS servants. Whereas for tank, support and healer class servants, I recommend you guys to focus on HP percentage, defense percentage, speed and accuracy percentage boost. HP percentage boost and defense percentage boost for increased survival rate, speed boost for faster, active and combo skill cooldown time, accuracy percentage boost for these servants to be able to inflict various debuffs on enemies more frequently. This game also has provided a specific shining gear slot for any given servant. The shining gear slot will glow with a yellow shine on the outline border. If you link a chain of a set of a particular gear variety, like 4 set of beast gears connected together in a continuous chain, then you will get a 10% bonus to that particular set effect. So in case of 4 set of beast gears, which was supposed to give a boost of 35% attack, it will give a boost of 39% attack instead. So always try to link your most favored gear sets effect to the shining slot in a chained fashion, meaning if your gears are not in a continuous chain linked to each other, then they will not trigger the 10% boost. Now let's talk about equipping, unequipping and selling the gears. You don't need to spend any gold to equip any particular gear to any servant. But when unequipping, you will have to pay a certain amount of gold corresponding to the gear grade. Higher the gear grade, higher the unequipping cost. However, there is a monthly event in this game which will allow you to remove gears for free for a specific period. If you want to save your gold, then you can take advantage of this event. Gears of higher rarity and grade can be sold for higher gold value. Different varieties of gears also have different selling or purchasing value. In general, when looking at gear inventory, the value of gears increases as you move from left side of the inventory to the right side of the inventory. For example, skill gear has more gold value than beast gear, and vampire gear has more gold value than skill gear. You can readily sell gears that have inferior stats or incompatible stats like flat stats in additional stats. If a gear meant for DPS servant has additional support stats like def percentage, HP percentage, flat HP, flat defense and resist percentage, then you can sell that gear right away. If a gear meant for support, heal and tank servants has additional damage output stats like attack percentage, crit percentage and crit damage percentage, then also you can sell that gear right away or until the time you get better gear with more compatible additional stats. Now let's discuss about the grade of gears. A gear can have a total of 6 grades. Each grade is represented by a number of stars below a gear icon. A gear can have a maximum number of 6 stars, which is also known as grade 6 gear. The lowest level of grade is grade 1 with only 1 star under the gear icon. Higher the grade of a gear, higher the primary and additional stats value it will gain upon enhancing its level. So, in general, it's a good idea to equip high grade gear to your servants to make them stronger. And this is it for today, guys. If you have made it this far, then thank you very much for sticking to this entire video on tips and guides on gears. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel to keep yourself updated with my new videos, and please share me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I would be very happy to communicate with you guys. See you guys in the next video.